Hi, Casual Raccoon here, and today we are jumping a bit into the future, because in EBO3 that already released in Asia, Bandai released really interesting Nico Robin card that is super rare. You can see it currently on the screen. We also have a beautiful alternate art version. This is not the topic of this video. The topic of this video is the effect of this card that is making some controversy in social media, and what we mean exactly is the official translation of the effect in the second line. So opponent's turn, on KO you may deal 1 damage to your opponent, and the confusion was, can we win the game by this effect or not? It was clarified by Bandai that yes, we can win the game if we somehow redirect damage to the Nico Robin during opponent's turn. She gets KO'd. If our opponent has 0 life, we deal 1 damage to them and they are done. But there is another point of confusion currently circulating on social media, and this is the difference between the Robin effect and the double attack. Because especially for the new players it might be a bit confusing, because both of those cards deal damage. Robin deals 1 damage, double attack deals 2 damage, and if you play the game from the start you maybe recognize that I already made a video explaining double attack back in a day in OPO6 when Yamato was being released, because the rules are really interesting for double attack. And the main confusion for new players around the double attack was, okay, I deal 2 damage, what happens when my opponent is on 1 life? Why I'm not winning the game if I deal 2 damage? And I think Bandai recently recognized that if they want to release Robin, they need to clarify double attack a little bit better. Hence they did this update of the comprehensive rules. You see the version with the 9 at the end, and it was updated this October, and they changed the wording a little bit. Previously it was like we see on the Yamato card that is quite old from OPO6, and it was this card deals 2 damage. Now they explain it a little bit more in detail. Double attack is a keyword effect that when damage is dealt to the opponent leader's life. This is really crucial. Leader's life. By an attack from a card that has this effect causes 2 damage to be dealt to the leader's life instead of 1. Why it's important? Because life is being represented by life cards. So what does it mean? To put it as simple as possible, if you need some more in-depth explanation of double attack, you can check my other video that I will link in the description. So let's say I have 3 life, really simple example. My opponent attacks with Yamato, I take damage. What will happen? I need to take 2 damage. So I take the first one and the second one. No problem. Now I'm on 1 life. So let's assume my opponent attacks again the next turn, whatever, with double attack. Why I'm not losing the game if I take this, even though they do 2 damage? Because as they explain, this 2 damage is being dealt to the leader's life, so to the life cards. So first damage done, then I have no life cards anymore, so the second damage doesn't happen. There is no target for this double attack to resolve. Therefore, I still can play the game. With Nico Robin, it's a little bit different, because the wording is different, even in English. I'm not sure how it goes in Japanese, but we have official English translation on the Asia One Piece card game website. And the difference is you may deal 1 damage to your opponent. You see the difference? 1 damage to your opponent as opposed to damage to leader's life. So this is this crucial difference, because the game of One Piece by standard rules is won if you deal damage to your opponent when they are on 0 life, okay? So that's why Nico Robin can win by the effect when opponent is on 0 life, but Yamato cannot win when the attack connects into 1 life leader. And lastly, just to show you that it's also acknowledged by Bandai, they already released questions and answers to this expansion for the EBO3 in Asia, and as you can see, this effect can resolve when your opponent has 0 life cards. Yes, you are winning the game. So if you have some sneaky way to redirect damage to Nico Robin that your opponent KOs her during their turn, then you simply win the game if they are on 0 life. So I hope this short video helped you to understand the rules of One Piece a little bit better, especially with more new cards and new effects being introduced to the game. It's important before any tournament to stay up to date and to avoid any stressful judge calls just because you don't grasp the rules fully. If you have any other questions, leave them in the comments below, maybe for this topic or any other topic, and then we can take a look together and solve the mystery behind them. Thank you for watching. See you in the next one.